This podcast is intended for entertainment purposes only. You must be 18 or older to listen and or subscribe. Anything we say should not be used to diagnose or treat any medical or psychiatric condition. Do not use anything heard on this podcast as a replacement for professional help or an attempt to diagnose yourself or anyone else. We are not licensed professionals. We are not here to treat you. Any similarities to any persons alive or deceased are purely coincidental. We will not be held responsible for any actions taken as a result of anything heard on this platform. This is for my disciplinarian. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I want to come out right now.
We are.
Thank you. Yeah.
Exactly. Disciplinary.
That's the thing you're eliciting. Yes.
Yeah. So, welcome back.
Here, so my snarl.
Right.
Stays.
Hey,
Like,
welcome.
yeah,
This will be a very triggering episode. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Around the Campfire that is kinky. We're gonna geek out on you guys.
Around the kinky camp.
It's been a while. We're in our second double-digit episode, and we haven't talked about anything geeky. So we're going to geek out, nerd out a little bit.
Nerd out or geek out?
Ooh,
let's not get into that conversation. I'll lose
because
my
I
shit.
learned the stuff, and then
There's a trigger.
I got to force it down to people's throats. We can talk about nerdy versus geeky.
Dang it.
To my right, I have
Dame.
and to my left, I have
Esme.
Still sticking with that. Huh?
Yeah, I just figured out why
And-
I get confused. He
who
looks
is-
at me and then points at you.
Yeah, I'm pointing over here. I
And
said
look
to
at
my
it. Look,
right.
he's looking at me.
This table's blue.
That's why I got confused. Now I don't feel
Hold
so
on.
stupid.
Can I say my name?
Nope.
And this is Vodka Gabalski.
Whatever.
It's a deep cut. They don't know.
I don't.
You
I don't even
you
care.
people know.
I don't care.
You people know. Vodka Kabolski. We are going to talk about geeky. There's so many topics to talk about, but we should do a little history.
Oh, Lord.
We'll do a little history. Who wants to talk about their geek experiences first? Tell a little story, how they got started.
You do, apparently.
Nobody else wants to? Well, go first.
All right, define... we can
Define
do-
geek experience.
Okay,
Yeah.
for me...
I don't identify as geeky, so, I mean...
This is where you guys
You
don't
are
hear
geeky.
much from me at all.
I'm like 50%.
no, you want to...
I'm like 50%
I'm a
geeky and 50%
spectator in these
You want to talk about
podcasts.
how? Oh, you want to talk about how Harry Potter's garbage? That's what I'm
Oh,
doing.
fuck you.
Ah, there it is. I knew she was going to say something.
You're like
Okay.
you're like 25% geek.
So,
I'm like 50%.
okay, so
He's
for me,
100%.
we're very young. Geeking out is when you go all in on something. You buy the toys, you watch the shows, the movies, and everything. Anytime something comes out, you're very excited about it. You got to tell people about it. Dress up it for Halloween or whatever.
I don't dress up.
That's lame. You're not a geek. We're gonna geek you out.
You don't have any like Harry Potter.
No.
If I buy you a
Tie,
cloak, you're not
pants,
gonna wear it.
I have a T-shirt.
If I
with,
buy
like,
you
the
a
house
cloak,
on it.
That's
if I blow you
geeky.
a, that's a geek thing.
You're like 10%.
If I buy
geeky,
you a
20%.
cloak, you ain't
Yeah.
gonna wear it. Really?
I mean, I probably would.
Okay. See,
You
you're
would,
smiling
you
right now.
would,
Where's
you
the camera?
would.
Somebody's
I would,
smiling.
yeah.
She would.
I know what to get
Wear
you
the
for
cloak.
Christmas
I
now.
would wear the
What
cloak.
house are you? The
I'm Ravenclaw.
Gophers?
See, you're geek. If
Gophers?
you know your house,
I'm
you're
Raven-
Ravenclaw.
I'm Ravenclaw.
I'm a Ravenclaw.
Technically, I'm a Raven Puff.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, because I'm almost
That's the flamingo.
dead.
I'm a Ravenclaw and
middle.
Slytherin.
That's the
No.
flamingo
You're
house,
a-
right?
I'm a
You're a-
Huffleclaw.
What?
Yes.
Wait.
That's adorable.
Hold on.
You're not.
Wait.
You're soft on the inside. You're a Pisces. That's why.
I am.
Wait.
Yeah, I'm just cold and heartless.
Yeah.
Wait.
Fucking.
That's the flamingo house,
asshole.
right?
You're wiener.
the flamingos.
Such a wiener.
I can't do this. One.
I
I can't do this episode.
See, you.
I love how you
pretend like
smiled so hard when I said I'm going to get you a robe. You're like, I wouldn't wear it. If I get you a little wand thing that
I
does
have
the
wands.
thing. You got
You're
the
a
special
geek.
ones?
Yes,
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure.
they're
I do too.
interactive.
I have
Yeah,
the-
I'm pretty sure I can find a
See,
wand that you
I
don't
have the
have.
Bellatrix wand.
So hold on. If I buy you a
You're,
wand,
you're geek. You have like.
if
at
I
least
buy you
20%
a
geek.
wand that you don't have, you're not telling me you're not going to get happy when I.
no,
give it
I
to
do
you?
the spells at
At
I'm
Universal.
asking
yeah.
you if I got you a wand.
Yes, I would be
you-
happy.
Yeah,
Oh,
see?
it depends on whose wand you get me.
Then that's a
Very
geek thing.
geeky.
See, that's a very geek thing to say because
Very
I say
geek.
the same thing too.
Yeah.
You got to be very specific, otherwise I'm not going to
Yeah,
want it.
Malfoys. This is fucking lame.
Yeah.
What?
Like,
yeah,
I
nobody
wouldn't
wants
want
that.
Nobody
No.
wants
Why the
Malfoys.
fuck do you have Malfoys?
I don't. That was a joke.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. If
I
you
wouldn't
got
want
somebody got
Malfoys.
Malfoy, I'd be
I'll
like,
get you a
throw that in
Malfoy.
the trash.
And
Right in the
speaking of
garbage.
which,
Hermione,
game.
that's so
There's
Yes.
certain board
Yes.
games that are very
Yes.
good and Harry Potter themed. Now, I don't get on the board. I don't get on the Harry Potter bullshit.
Oh,
but
you
if you
collect
bring
a
on,
board game too.
I do collect a board
if there's
game.
there's very thematic board games out there that I like to play that are Harry Potter themed.
You're a geek and you don't know it, but
Yeah.
you're more. I think you're more of a
See, I
nerd.
knew
You
it.
got a little bit of geek in you.
I knew it. If
I
you're
didn't
gonna wear
think
the
I did
robe,
either,
you're a
but-
geek.
Yeah.
You gotta let
I would
people
only
know.
wear it in very specific
So,
circumstances.
and also, if I get Harry Potter fact wrong, then I'm pretty sure you'll correct me. That's a very geek thing to do too.
Yeah, correcting people
Yeah.
on their genre. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Their
Okay,
interests.
so for me, mine started when my mom asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I said a Ninja Turtle.
It's a great thing to want to be.
That's the very early thing I remember. I was very much a Raphael fan when I was younger,
You were a Raph fan.
and
Wow.
I collected toys, and I dressed up as Raphael for Halloween, and that's what I wanted to be when I grew up. That's the earliest geeky thing I remember. I was born in a different country, so we had access to different things from like Japan when it wasn't very cool to be into the Japanese stuff. So I had the like TV shows and the Transformers, and I was also a big Godzilla fan growing up.
I want to tell Dame something.
Yeah.
He's wanted to talk about this on some. Okay, Okay, so you're gonna see. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I don't
So
need to say anything.
I'm just doing a little
We're letting this
history.
happen.
Thank you very much. So I have my house now, and there's all kinds of memorabilia here.
Not Harry Potter house. Your actual house.
Lame.
Shut up.
Lame. Okay, so that's it for me, and I've identified as a geek and been made fun of
That
when I was
is
younger.
not it for you. No.
And,
He wants to talk about so much more. Why don't you talk about some of your posters?
Okay, wait. Before we go on, the reason why we're talking about this is because the night that we're recording is the night that Doctor Strange came out, Doctor Strange 2. So this is why we're talking about this. Very excited about
Multiverse
this.
of Madness.
Multiverse of Madness. So I'm very much looking forward to this because there's
There's
been
a 2.
Yeah, he did like fucking
God.
cool
You
chaos,
are
magic,
killing
alchemy,
me
and
right
shit.
now.
It's fucking rad. That's not what it is. I'm not that geeky, but
Somebody else go. I'm triggered. I'm
this
triggered.
is great.
Triggered.
This is great.
So if it matters, I have very fond memories
Okay.
of when I was a kid.
See, I knew you had something.
I have very fond memories of when I was a kid. We
You rode a broomstick?
didn't have a lot of
That was
money
me.
growing up. We were very low to middle class, right? And my dad was a huge Star Trek fan.
Okay.
And
What went wrong?
Hold on.
What went wrong?
Did I know this?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
I don't think she's told us that.
Okay.
And so
Do you-
one of the few times that my dad would take us
Hold
to
on,
the
I'm
movies would to go see the Star Trek movies as they came out.
This was 80s? Mm-hmm. Okay.
80s, yeah.
80s and
So
90s
did you
was the Star
start
Trek
with the
movies.
first one?
I've seen them all
At
in
the
the
theater.
theater.
I'm a little jealous. Did you fall asleep during the
No.
first one?
Because it was the only time my dad wouldn't go, the only movies my dad would go watch were Star Trek and Star Wars.
Okay.
That's incredible.
And so I grew up going to Star Trek and Star Wars.
And you stayed up for that whole movie?
Yeah. I was eating popcorn and hanging out with my dad.
The odd number ones? Wow.
And then I married a guy who I guess in all was like geeky. And so his thing was you had to see all the Lord of the Rings in the theater. So I saw all Lord of the Rings in the theater.
I did too, actually.
So I had very fun. And then you grew up watching Star Trek, the TV show,
Which one?
the original.
You
Well,
grew
you
up.
bought-
She would have watched TNG.
You watched it. Okay.
I
On
watched
TV?
Yes, on TV.
I'm a little jealous.
You wouldn't have watched.
I watched
TOS
like,
was
no,
19
mine
ended
was
in
like Spock,
1969.
and
That ended in 1969.
we
Syndicated.
watched them on TV.
Must
You
been
would have been a little kid.
syndicated.
Yeah.
Syndicated.
Syndicated too. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But
The
you got to
animated
watch it on
series.
TV, though. It's pretty good.
So we watched them on TV.
All right.
Actually, you can do that
You
now.
would have certainly watched TNG.
I
1990.
don't- no,
87,
no,
88.
no.
No.
Picard. We're talking about Picard. No.
No, I saw some of them, but by that time I was
You were older
teenage.
then.
I was
Yeah.
older.
What happened?
It was. I watched it with my dad. I wasn't with my dad
I
anymore.
see. I watched those with my dad.
What?
We're Star Trek fans.
No.
Did you know? We're Star Trek
She
fans.
doesn't
She's
even
a
know.
Star Trek fan. Yeah. Dude, mine started with the nostalgia too.
Yeah.
It starts with nostalgia, and
So
then
th-
it snowballs
Since
from there.
then, all the other
wait,
Star
what
Trek
happened?
episodes, like all the other things, I never got into because I was an adult.
Yeah.
It's not anything
There's
I did.
nothing that connects you to it.
But I saw all the originals in the theater.
But Daddy liked it.
Well, yeah, Dad liked Redskins, but I didn't
All
root
right.
for them either.
So let
There's
me
a
tell.
Washington team now.
What's your thing now? Vodka. Let me
So
tell
the Redskins
Vodka.
anymore.
This is the difference between nerds and geeks then. Because nerds will go back and do it for the nostalgia, and they don't actually need to go watch the entire universe of a thing because they need to collect all the episodes in their mind. That's a geek thing to do. Nerds will just recall the nostalgia of it and understand it for like the purpose that it served at the time.
like I would,
I don't really care about
I don't
that.
have a
'cause you're
desire
not
to
a nerd.
dress up. I don't have memories of favorite episodes. I have memories of going to the movies and watching them with my dad.
Just dad memories,
Yeah.
but none of it stuck.
I mean, I understood the movies. If I watched them again, I'd remember what was happening. But
What I'm saying, like the new shows, it's like, oh
no, they didn't stick for the
No,
new
no, no.
shows.
then forget the
And then
TNG stuff.
Harry
What do you like
Potter
about Harry
goes.
Potter?
No. Go back. No, you teenager, you fell off the wagon somehow. You hit your
Yeah.
head and
Yeah.
lost your mind. And
Yep.
like
all that.
I'm not
Bullshit.
geeky anymore.
and
Listen
then
to him.
married,
Oh,
and then
God.
picked up with Lord of the Rings.
Okay, yes.
And watched all of those.
Mm-hmm.
I actually really enjoy those movies. I like those. I
sounds
couldn't
like-
read the books, but I like the
Why
movies.
not?
They were too convoluted.
Convoluted.
Yeah. Like they spent too much time trying to force the names of the lands and the
Oh,
people and the history
You lost
and the all of that. And if I can't pronounce in my mind what the thing is,
It's like reading the Bible.
I can't follow the storyline.
I don't need this.
Like, and so I would spend so much time trying to pronounce the things and trying to learn the history that I was losing the storyline.
I would just
you
watch
lose
so
Rogue
it was
One
really
finally.
hard. So like it could be this really cool name, but it was like in my
Yeah.
mind because I couldn't pronounce it, and I would just lose it.
I know Frodo Baggins and Samwise. I couldn't name
No, but
Legolas
if you
because
go to
he's
read
sexy.
the books, there's so much detailed history about the lands and the towns and the names and
That's what I'm saying.
it was too much.
I know there's a ring. There's 4 things I can name. I can't name anything else. I've watched the original version. I've watched the extended version.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember shit.
What about all the planets in Star Wars?
No.
Can't do it? Yeah, see, I was trying to do that last night.
No.
I finally watched Rogue One, and there's all these planets, and they're going back and forth, and I'm like, I should really read like
Now,
more
see,
of a
like
synopsis, and
I grew
can't
up
follow
watching
it.
the original Star Wars in the theaters.
Yeah.
Right. And so like recently I went to, cause I'm an annual pass to Disney. So I went to MGM where they have all the new Star Wars stuff. And I will say it was pretty freaking amazing to walk through it because it was very nostalgic to
Yeah.
me because
Did
I
you-
had seen it in the movies.
Yep.
Have you gone on Star Wars days
No,
when they have all the?
I haven't.
Oh,
no,
shit.
I don't
Okay.
follow
Yesterday.
it that deep though.
Well, I'll go
It was
with you.
just
I'll
neat.
fill you in.
No,
let you
I'll
know.
go.
Yeah.
It's intriguing to watch other people be into it.
Yeah.
I like watching other people being into it, but I don't.
Yep, I can't. I'm
Subscribe
like,
to
oh,
that.
this one's from Alderaan and the Tatooine and Naboo, and I'm like, fuck it, I don't fucking know. I don't
See, I'm not a
No.
fan, but I collect all the information, so I know.
And see, I'm not capable of collecting the information. I collect the nostalgia of the storyline, but like to like remember the characters' names or the names of things and how they relate. My mind, I
You-
don't put those pieces together.
You just defined the difference between a nerd and a geek. We nerds know like the heart of something.
Yeah, I don't know. I know this
The details
nostalgia
is
around
like,
it.
Yeah, the details
Yeah.
is like we don't need to know that because
Right.
it's just you just don't. You know it for the depth. There's a purpose behind it. There's something else there. It's different. I don't know why geeks collect information.
I know
I
why
can't figure
I
that
do
out.
it because
Yeah, why?
I find it fascinating, and I think this is where my geeky and my nerd cross over because I like to know why stuff was named and what was going on behind the scenes during that time.
That's where your geek and nerd crosses over because that's what nerds like. We like to know etymology.
Yeah, see, so I like to know the history, so I'll do a deep dive on a character,
Oh,
and the reason why I know the names, when I know the names, is because I've heard it so many times doing deep dives on multiple characters.
Okay, that makes sense.
Don't do it. I don't do it because to me it's entertainment.
Yes.
And I don't. My brain space isn't designed for that.
Yes, some people.
It
some people do
stops
that.
at the entertainment level
Yeah.
because
See-
I have to learn so much from my work and my job and all this other stuff that I have to learn that I have only so much brain space.
Yeah, so I have that too, where I only learn so much, like the bullshit stuff, like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. It's just like, what the fuck? Is
I learn when I care.
So
what are we
not
called?
bullshit.
Interest-based learning. It's an ADHD thing, I guess. Interest-based learning. What? So much of this.
Pet me one more fucking time.
I wish you had a camera.
I'm messing with her on this.
Harry Potter would be the very first thing
Okay, so
that
Explain this
I
shit
will
out.
say that I've gotten into.
okay,
Why?
so there was Lord of the Rings you didn't care, and then Harry Potter came
Why
after.
Harry Potter?
Why Harry Potter?
What did
I
it
don't
do
know.
for you?
I started with the books. When the books came out,
Did you have a bedroom under the stairs?
I didn't.
Okay,
No.
were your kids out of the house?
No, my kids were little.
Did they read those books?
No, they were too young. They were too little.
Were you reliving part of your childhood? Did you think, oh, this sounds interesting, everybody else is reading it? I
did for the first one.
Okay.
And then it got me.
Oh,
Like
it
the
gets you.
storyline got
Yeah,
me.
that's
And
good.
so then they kept coming out with the books. And by like, I think it was like the third book is when the first movie came out.
Yep.
And the movies were so similar to the books. Now they don't, you're always
I
going to
heard they
get
don't match,
more.
but
They don't
apparently
always
they're really
match. You're going to
fantastic.
get more information out of the books, but they were so similar that it was just such a wholesome thing that you could get into. You could identify. It was like the first series that I could identify with more than one character for more than one reason. And I didn't feel bad about it. Like normally when you watch a series or you watch a thing, you get into it, you identify with a character. And then it's like you live through the existence of all the other things through that character. Right? I was able to identify with different characters for different reasons. And so it was like the first thing that like I felt like I didn't have to identify with a character to enjoy the storyline, to see where it went next, to see where it goes next. And they left such cliffhangers, like where is it going to go next? Like how is this going to play out? There were times in the books where it was like, wow, like this should not have gone where it went. And then there were times in the movies like you guys got that wrong. Like you dragged this part out.
Yeah,
this
I
didn't
heard
get played
that.
out.
Yep.
Like the books were so much
I've
better.
heard there's
Right.
a couple little critiques that really changed the story.
But the idea that there could be this parallel universe, it's the ridiculousness of the fact that it could exist, but it doesn't, but does it, but it doesn't, but does it, but could it? But how do you know?
It's just real enough.
It's the whole reason why people got like obsessed with like the Twilight series. It's just enough bullshit to where you're like, this doesn't exist, but does it? Like, could it? Like, is there enough reality?
I have judgments.
No, but I'm saying like the movies weren't, but I read the books. I read all of those books. And
Yeah,
it
I
was
flipped
just,
through
it's
them.
that, can this exist? And it gives you a place to go.
Like 50 Shades of Grey, right? Yeah.
Oh my God.
Can this exist? You
You want to talk about a good podcast? Let's dissect 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, I want to do episodes where we do that.
Because I will absolutely dissect it where I will piss everybody off.
Destroy it.
Yes.
I won't
One of
read
these
it.
days-
I refuse.
I will absolutely
I will not
destroy
watch those
everybody's
movies.
yeah,
views
on
one of
50
these days
Shades
we'll
of
have to
Grey.
watch all three movies.
I
and then
have
we can-
multiple times
Why?
Why?
because I watched them when
Because
they
you're
first.
angry about it.
No, here's the thing: is I read all the books. I read all 3 books. And then I watched the movies as they came out in the theater. I physically went and
you
watched
paid
them.
for that.
I did.
Oh God.
So then I took
Was it
a
to
break.
protect the community?
So then I took a break. Well, yes, because we had the influx. And so
Yeah.
I wanted to know what they were coming in with.
That's the only reason I would watch.
So you nerded out. Got it.
So then
no.
what happened was I'll be honest, in the last year and a half, I have gone back and rewatched the movies.
Okay.
To talk about a different
That was
perspective.
really loud. Sorry.
Talk about a different perspective. I would be able to completely destroy people's ideology with these movies.
Oh God.
Think about if you watched them when they first came out and then you had anything to do with the community, you had anything to do with the legitimate BDSM community and everything that it stands for and everything that we teach, then go back and rewatch them with that knowledge in your head, you're going to see completely different movies.
Well, see, when it first came out, I already had experience in that.
I did too, but I had read the books, I had experience in the communities, and I watched the movies, and I was cringed. Don't get me wrong. I had an opinion about these movies and I was cringed. But now, however many years later since they've come out, going back and rewatching them with the much more knowledge that I have about community, the much more knowledge I have about BDSM and everything with it, I am going to completely destroy anything you think about what you hate about this movie.
Oh, anything we think that we hate about it?
Yes.
Wait,
Oh.
what? You giving good points for the movie? What?
No, not giving good points. I'm going to flip how everybody viewed the movie. I'm telling you, it's a whole thing. We can squirrel. We can go and
Is
do
it
this
anti-cringe
now.
I haven't watched
or
them, I
cringe?
refuse. It'd probably be more realistic than everybody's like, oh, it's fantasy and that's stupid and whatever. Like, that could totally happen.
Are you talking about more cringe?
I'm not going to talk about it.
You're going to make it more cringy?
I'm not talking about
we
it.
can't
This
talk
will
about it.
depend
This
on
is
whether
a
I want
geek
to even
episode
hear
or not.
this. If you're going to make it more cringy, I don't want
I'm
to
not
hear
going
it.
to talk about it.
I don't want to hear it.
I'm going to make you wait.
That's fine. I've waited this long to watch. I've only watched the first one, so
That's it?
yeah, I can't.
So now, as an adult who has much more experience in the community than when they first came out, rewatch them in order, and then we'll talk about them.
What? It can only get more cringy. I was already cringy when I watched the first one. I didn't
Just
know anything
saying.
about
I'm
it.
just saying.
Oh God, I was
I just read
critiquing
the
his
synopsis of
ropes.
all of them.
I
okay.
read the books and watched them
I read the
more than
synopsis.
once.
So you just started reading Harry Potter and then just got
I
hooked.
did. I saw the hype about it. I was an adult with 2 kids. I saw the hype about it. It was sold as a young adult book, much like Twilight and Hunger Games and all of the other things that came after it. And so I was like going into it expecting it to be a kid's book. Like, okay, let me see. Well, I actually thoroughly enjoyed the storyline. It's not the best writing that you're ever going to come across. Like she's not the best writer in the world, but I loved the storyline. I just got into the characters and I really liked it. And so then they were very strategic in the way that they built this brand, because not only did you get into the books, you were waiting for the next book. You had these, and then by like the 3rd book, they came out with the first movie. So now you have a picture in your head
now. Yeah.
of who these characters are as you're finishing the books as they're coming out. You can now picture the
Yep.
characters.
Though they're illustrated, right? The books are illustrated.
No, the original ones were not.
Really?
No,
They
the
illustrated
original
after the movies?
after were they
Okay.
illustrated.
Wow.
They only started illustrating the movies or illustrating the books like 5 years ago, less than 5 years ago.
Wow.
Did
I
they
hate
come out with like
illustrated
the I love them.
I hate illustrated books for the
Now
record,
that I've
'cause it
seen the
removes my
movies and already
imagination.
read the book, I like the illustrations
Yeah.
because it matches.
It does match.
It does
if it
match.
didn't match, I'd be really pissed. But if
So
it matches,
then,
it's-
not only did they come out with the movies after they started the books, they were still continuing the books after they came out with the movies. So you have the visual. Then Universal got smart and started building the theme park.
Well, no. Do you know the story behind that? I was ready to jump in.
go ahead.
Geek fact. Do you know Disney had first rights to that?
No.
Do you know why they didn't?
Because it's wizardy.
No. It's because the street size. J.K. Rowling wanted to make the streets like the books with narrow, and Disney didn't want to make them narrow.
Really?
Yeah, they wanted to keep it because of safety
it's
reasons.
Disney,
But
yeah.
Universal was like, oh, we'll make it like you want to, nice and narrow and everything like that. So Disney had the first rights to Harry Potter.
I did not know that.
And Universal was like, okay, we'll do the streets
Well,
like you wanted.
I think Universal has done amazing
Sounds
with
like
what
Disney
they've done.
fucked
Yeah, because they listened
So-
to J.K. Rowling. That's
Right.
why.
And so then as soon
They
as
did
like
fuck
they
up.
were done with all the movies, next thing you know, Universal's coming out with it. Now you can you can walk into the areas that you've
So
all
good.
So it was like
It's
this
so good.
progression. It was mastermind how they went from books to movies while the books were still being written.
Yes.
So that you're now watching the movies that you've already read the books for while books are still coming out.
You're immersed now.
Yes.
You're literally
and now
immersed in
we're
that
going to
world.
give you a place where you can physically go and experience
Yep.
all of the things that they're talking about. It was great.
Yeah.
It was
So
great.
you weren't
And
ever.
Disney's just now catching up on this concept with Star Wars.
No.
Yes.
No, they've been
I
doing
disagree.
that. They've been doing that forever with their movies.
They've been-
Pirates of the Caribbean.
It's not totally
It's
immersive.
not an
like
immersive.
Harry Potter is.
It's
Harry
a
Potter's
ride
immersive.
that you stand in line and you go into a building and then you are in for a very brief period of time. You are in this thing and then you walk back out into real world. Where with Universal with Harry Potter, you
Oh, yeah.
physically are walking into
You're
the
in Diagon
world.
Alley. You look left, you look right. There's almost nothing that reminds
There
you that
is
you're in Universal.
absolutely nothing at Disney that you walk into and are immersed in.
Yeah. You look left, you look right, you look everywhere, and you're just in
Yes.
Universal.
Yeah, I
you're
could-
in it.
We can go down that path too with Disney. Having worked there, there's a
I work there too, and
There's
I
a-
have an annual pass. I am a Disney nut.
no. I'm saying to the fact that when I worked there, Disney. It was the Disney experience, so you weren't supposed to have the outside world.
Yeah, I mean they try.
No, there is a Disney experience, but you're not immersed into a single thing.
That's what I'm saying. They wanted you to be just the Disney experience,
Right.
everything all at once.
Where Universal had no problem immersing you into
just
a
Harry Potter.
world.
Yeah.
You get immersed into the superheroes. You're walking around, and all of the buildings look like superhero buildings. They look like the city.
Yeah, they have the different
all
lands and all
the
this
different
stuff.
lands.
Yeah.
You walk into Bart Simpson, and the entire thing around Bart Simpson,
Islands of Adventure
you're
is
immersed
right.
into Bart Simpson. The cars on the sidewalk, the
Springfield.
accessories.
But it's not,
when you walk into the comics.
Dr. Seuss.
Yeah.
The comics.
Oh yeah, the
But,
Toontown.
Yeah,
but
Toontown.
every theme park does that except
No.
for Disney.
Disney's no, Six Flags doesn't do it either.
They don't have a property that they have.
Six Flags
Yeah.
has multiple proproperties,
No,
but
no,
they
no.
don't have propriety
No.
over anything.
No, they have the propriety over like the dolls and stuff. They can't name them, but you can have like a Pikachu. You just can't say that's a Pikachu.
But that's what I'm saying. They
Universal-
don't have propriety over anything, where Universal and Disney does.
Well, it's that's a contract thing. That's a deep thing
but
because you
Universal
can you can sell
chooses
this
to
stuff.
immerse you. The very
Yeah,
first
because
thing
it's a
that
movie
Disney,
studio, too.
right? But the very first thing that Disney has ever created that immerses you into the environment is Star Wars,
Well,
the
it's
new
second
one
thing.
that just
This is
opened.
the second one, Avatar Land, immersed you.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll give you that. Avatar immersed
so
you.
the reason, so Harry Potter is the reason why they did it because they lost out on that contract.
And they saw how popular it
And I
was.
saw how popular it was because before Disney has always been we're Disney. When
We're
you come
Disney.
here, you're not supposed to think about anything else, just the Disney experience, and then you go ride rides and stuff like that.
So to go back to Harry Potter, it was a progression that, like, just when you thought you were complacent and there was they weren't doing something else, here's something else that
Yep.
you can like experience all of the nostalgia thing that got you to
You're-
love what
you're
it is
hooked,
to begin
man.
with. Yes,
They hook you.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Geeks get hooked. I don't know if nerds get hooked.
So I am a
No.
huge
Hooked.
Harry. So I will always say I'm a huge Harry Potter fan.
So
My
you were-
purse that I still carry around is a Harry Potter purse.
Yeah.
So
I
you were
love
never
Harry Potter.
disappointed between the book and movie?
Yes, always.
Okay.
But that didn't negate the experience that I got from both of them independently. I could
Really?
read the book and appreciate the book and love the book, and I can watch the movie a million times and love the
This
movie.
is what nerds can do.
Yeah. See,
Nerds do that.
I cannot
I
tell
couldn't do
you
that.
how many times I have seen all of the Harry Potter movies. I have lost count.
I watch them whenever they're on, and
Yes.
I'll watch them as marathons
I
all the
will.
way through.
I have
Yeah.
lost
Every
count
time.
on the number of times I have watched
Those are
the
bad.
individual Harry
Yeah,
Potter
I'll do that with
movies,
geek stuff.
Yeah, just sit there.
I've
and watch.
rewatched Godzilla.
regardless of
movies
the
over
book.
I've rewatched Godzilla movies over. I've read the books too. So what did it for me is, and we're back.
And we're back.
Okay, so my experience. This is interesting. So my experience with having read a book and then watching it in like a TV show or movie was the Animorphs. I don't know if anybody even remembers that book. Anyways, the point is Nickelodeon picked up the show after the books had been out, and I was all into it. And then I watched like your imagination, like what you think the characters look like. And when they did the TV show, I was so thoroughly disappointed. I never did it again. I was absolutely hurt. Fast forward to like 10 years ago, I was a big fan of Ender's Game. I read all those books.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
And then the movie came out.
I heard it wasn't good.
It was absolutely dog shit. And everybody thought so. So that was my second experience with that. And I'll never do it again. So anytime there's a live action adaptation of like an anime or something I watch, because that's the only thing that I care to watch, except for like a comic book or something, I absolutely can't do it. And it drives me insane. Speaking of comic books, they're not actually like a book, but they are, a book.
I've only
Anytime
read one comic in my life.
the whole MCU, what's
Archie.
nice. Oh God. Anyways, so what's nice about the
My mom used to
MCU?
buy them for me when I was little.
Oh God, whatever. Anyways,
Magazine, comic books to me or magazine.
the nice thing about
Call them books. I'm like,
the-
that's a staple.
we're just gonna talk to
No,
each
we're
other on the
listening, we're
side.
listening.
I can have
What's
10
nice
conversations at once.
about the MCU, which is different than pretty much any other thing
What's
except for
an
Star
MCU?
Wars, Marvel
Marvel's-
Cinematic Universe,
There you go.
Disney, just kind of did away with the whole adaptation thing. So what they did was, which is kind of interesting, is that they just made a whole new story. They just did like, oh, the comic books are here. We're not going to do an adaptation. We're going to do fan stuff, fan appreciation. We're going to throw stuff in there. But this is a different world. This is not the comic books. So they never adapted it from the comic books. It's actually a whole different universe. So that's how they did that.
That's why I'm so confused.
Yes. So
Okay.
they'll
So I was
throw
like,
comic
oh,
book
maybe I can read the comic books
they'll
and
throw comic
Nope,
book
sure can't.
elements into the movies, but then be like, this is
All right.
This is not
I'm
a direct
gonna not
sequel.
feel bad that I'm totally confused because then they'll say, oh, that's not how it is in the comic. And I'm like, I'm so fucked. I can't catch up with any of this stuff.
Yes, well, you
So
got like
good.
80 years to catch up on, but they'll throw stuff from the comic books into the movie, so it'll
Yeah,
just be
obviously.
random. And there's like
But it's
licenses,
random, right? And
It's
I'm like,
well, you got to deal with
character.
contracts too, because not everybody owns the characters. Blah blah blah, yakety smackety. So that's the nerdy part I like to learn about is the background stuff. It's like, why was this character not in this? Because another studio owns it.
I want Dame to continue
So-
to ask questions that would seem to be obvious to like a geek
not obvious.
because
Anyways.
we're giggling
Whatever.
over here. And I
So
wish we had a
my
camera.
experience with
Yeah.
because Lord of the Rings was before Harry Potter, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitively before Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So the movies came out, and somebody I was dating at the time liked Lord of the Rings, so I had watched it. But we ended up breaking up before all the movies came out. So I was like, well, fuck, I'm too much of a geek. I have to watch the rest of the things, but I've never read the book. Harry Potter comes out, and my nephew's all into the books because he's like 10 years old when it comes out. And this little fucker makes me watch the first two movies with him, and then by the time the third movie comes out, he's too old for this shit. So I have to go back and watch the shit by myself because I'm a geek. I have to finish it.
Right.
So
He didn't
I've-
want to continue on with them.
He's a little shit, yeah, because he grew out of
That's
it.
odd.
Made me take
Yeah.
like
That's odd.
he blackmailed my mom. Like, he went to my mom and made her like, "Oh, take your nephew to go
Yeah,
see the
guilt-
movie."
like guilt tripped him.
I was like, "You little shit!" So I had to go watch the other movies. Same thing with 50 Shades of Grey. I watched the first one because I was dating somebody, and then I just didn't want it. It's too cringy. But those are my experices with it, so that's why I never really.
Did
got
you
into
ever
the book.
watch Twilight?
Yes, because I was dating somebody.
All
that
of
was in it.
them?
I had to watch all of them.
Oh,
I had to watch all.
What
of
about
them.
Hunger Games?
Same thing?
I
with
liked Hunger Games.
I liked Hunger
Yeah.
Games.
Anytime it's like anytime it's a book made into a movie,
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it because of Ender's Game and because of Animorphs. So I watch all the movies, but
But
then
you don't read the book.
I don't read. I can't read the book. I can't read the book because
have you ever watched a movie and gone back to read the book?
no,
Really?
I can't do it because I told you Ender's Game fucked me up. I was a big
Wow.
Ender's Game. That was my shit. And like all the series has been
So I
done.
will say the one, like if I had to like self nerd,
Mm-hmm.
the one thing that I had that experience once with Aragon. I read the Aragon series, and they came out with the movie, and the movie was like nothing compared to the series. And so I think they tried to come out with more, but I couldn't do it because I had read the series.
It just pisses me off. So I'll watch the TV show when it comes out, Lord of the Rings TV show, just because I've watched
There's a TV show
There's a TV
of
show
Lord of the
coming
Rings.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't-
like $1
Where?
million an
I don't care
episode.
that much.
Amazon.
I like Lord of the Rings, but I don't care
Amazon
that much.
has a Lord of the Rings
fall.
TV show.
Yeah.
Oh, it hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
Okay, because
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, no, there's not.
Yeah, it's coming out. So I'll watch it. Basically, the story of how all the rings. There's that timeline.
Oh yeah, I remember
There's
this.
of it.
Okay,
What was I gonna
I knew
say?
this was coming out.
Yeah, so that fucked me up. Ender's Game fucked me up. So I can't read the books and watch the movie because I'll be too fucking mad about that shit. But I can do it with the comic book because different universe. There's that caveat there. I don't know how I feel about Star Wars.
I'm
I
a
was
Star
going to say
Trek
Star
fan.
Wars. Star Wars isn't comic book based, is it?
It's not comic book based, but there are comic books.
Based on it.
Yes.
After it's come out, but
Yeah.
not what the movies are based on.
Well, see, there's the other caveat because if you do a comic book in between the movies, technically it's its own thing. And there's TV shows that are now have characters that were animated in the
The
TV shows. And like,
Mandalorian. What about that one? How does that fit in?
that's just its own separate thing. I don't think there's a comic book on there, but there's a comic book and a TV show, and what they'll do is they'll take the characters from there and then put them into the movies and the TV shows.
Look at
so you
him
have a live
geeking out.
action version. So there's caveat. Disney's smart; they do that shit. But other than that, I can't do the crossover. It's just fucking annoying.
Would you watch a movie and go back and read the book?
No, because here's where I'm weird. If I know the movie's coming out and I know it started as a book, I'll read the book before I go see the movie.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I'll make it a point to find the book and read the book before I go see the movie.
Do you do the little there's the one with the dog movie. There's a bunch of books where they make into the movies, but it's like the Love Ryan, like the Notebook. Did you read The Notebook and
I
then
did.
watch The Notebook? So they got a bunch of those like romance
Yes.
movies like that. And there's one about the soldier that had the dog or something like that.
That one I didn't.
Okay.
I don't even remember.
So even with
watching that
those, you'll
movie.
do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Jeez. A
Girl
lot
on
of
the
books.
Train. I read the book before I saw the movie
Gone
because I
Girl?
knew that there was a Girl Gone. I read the book before I saw the movie.
Do you do the shorts too? Sometimes
Huh?
they'll do a movie off a
I mean,
short
I'll wear
story.
shorts when I watch the movie, but
What?
Shorts, the story shorts. So sometimes they'll make a movie out for like a short story. Do you go
Okay.
back and do that too?
you'd have to give me an example. I
I
don't
think
know.
Throw Mama from the Train was a short
No, that
story.
one I don't know.
Yeah, that's an old
But
one.
Girl on the Train was a book, and I read the book before I saw the movie.
Gone? Did you do Gone
Girl
Girl?
Gone.
Gone
Gone
Girl.
Girl was a book. I read the book before I
Okay.
saw the movie.
Okay, you watched that one
Yeah.
too.
Wild.
There's the one Leonardo DiCaprio.
Revolutionary Road. I read the book before I saw the movie.
Okay, so you do that for all the even the random
I try.
ones,
If
not
I
even
know
the
it's a book.
series.
If I know it's a book, I will try to read the
So
book
did you
before
do
I
it
see
with
the
Hunger
movie.
Games?
Yes. I read the book before I saw the movies.
You weirdo. Jeez. Really?
Yes.
Goodness.
I did. I read Twilight before I saw Twilight. I read Harry Potter before I saw
So
Harry
you're doing
Potter.
the same thing as
Okay.
I am, except for instead of a comic book, you're doing it with the book.
I always read the book if I know it's a movie.
You
If
read
I
the
know
comic
it's,
book?
if
You read
I
the
know,
comic-
if like they advertise the movie as this is based on the book of, I will go find that book and read it before I see the movie.
That is wild. I purposefully won't.
I can't do it. So you're
I
never
will do
disappointed
it.
by the adaptation?
Always.
That's why I
But
won't.
here's the thing is,
Are you a
is-
masochist?
no, but here's the thing is I can
Maybe.
appreciate the movie for what it is because I know what they left out. Like I can see, like it doesn't. I can still appreciate. Like I can be like, that's not true, or that's not how that worked. Stephen King's notorious for it. I've read all of Stephen King's books before I saw the
Ooh.
movies.
Ooh. They left some stuff out of it.
They left a lot of stuff out
I'm
of a
glad they
lot
left
of
it
the
out.
dome
That's why
one.
I won't
The
read it.
dome one.
There's one I did, Jurassic Park. I read that book. I still like the movies.
Every single Stephen King book will have more details than the movies, but
Of
it doesn't
course.
make the movies any less important. The movies are still good as movies, but the books they always leave something out.
I can't do it, 'cause
Color
Stephen
Purple. I read the book.
Stephen King's a nerd. I
Did you know that The Color Purple was based off a book?
Yeah.
So if you read the book is a very hard read because it's very phonically. It's written phonically, not grammatically.
Oh.
And
Huckleberry Finn or something?
no, The Color Purple.
Yeah.
It's written phonically. It's not written grammatically.
What do you mean phonically?
Dialect.
Like, yeah, it's how they talk.
Like black people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Their dialect.
Yeah.
In that movie.
And Southern
Yes.
black people. That's like Huckleberry Finn.
Yes, it's written like that.
Yeah.
So it's a very hard read.
Tom Sawyer.
But now I will say that is one of the rare cases where to me the movie exceeded the book.
Okay. I mean,
The book's good, but the movie exceeded the book.
whatchamacallit's a great actor. There's a bunch of great actors.
Oh,
in
there was exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was hard to watch after that. Glover.
Oh, I love him. He's a great actor.
Man, he was rough in that movie though.
But that if you want to call me a nerd, I mean that makes me a nerd. Like if I knew to this day, if I see a movie
That's geeky.
advertised and
that
I
is.
know
That
that
seems
there's a
geeky.
book
Yeah, it's
based
geeky.
off of it, I will seek out the book first.
Yeah, that's geeky.
It could be nerdy too. I think that's like 50-50. I could see a nerd doing that.
But I've done it since I was a teenager.
Yeah,
It's a habit.
that's that's wow. I can't do it.
That's
so
a level
disappointing.
of dedication that I just.
I would
I
read
like
the,
to read.
I would
I
read
do
the book.
too, but-
I would read the book and just not watch the movie.
See,
It's
I
like
would
a waste
do
of time.
I do the opposite. I watch the movie, and if I like the movie, I'll go back and read the book. But I almost don't want to spoil the movie that I just watched. But I'd be so curious that I'd have to go back and read the book.
Yeah.
Because there are some that I know I'm going to go back and read the book for.
I always read the book first.
Man.
The only ones the only movies that I'm like adamant about that I love that I didn't read the book first would be like The Godfather. I didn't read the book first, but there is a book.
Yeah.
Tom Clancy stuff.
Yeah, the Tom. Well, no, because I read.
Did you go back and read them, or did you read them first?
I read them first. I read Angels and Demons before I saw the movie. I read Da Vinci Code
Ooh,
before I
those
saw
were
the
good, too.
movie.
Jeez, did you read all the books? Every one of them?
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, I read them before I saw the movies.
No, Da Vinci Code, all the other books.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Man, that's
Yeah.
a rough read. Did you read the new Gringotts Greenwald books?
No, the thing is that with the
Beasts?
Fantastic Beasts is those are movie based. They're not book based. So they come out with the original Fantastic Beast, if I'm remembering right, they came out with the transcript of Fantastic Beast, and it read as a playwright. It was not a book.
Oh, so there's not books for those?
No, there are not books for those.
I thought they were shorts.
They might have been, but those are movie-based spin-offs, not book-based spin-offs. As of right now, there are no book-based spin-offs of Harry Potter. There is a transcript. There's like a Hollywood
Stories of Beetle the Bard or something.
yeah, but there is no actual series that is a spin-off of Harry Potter. They're
done,
movie-based. She hasn't written a spin-off.
She's done writing the books for it, right?
Yeah, the books are done.
Okay. Well,
So
even
the
for
spin-off is Fantastic Beast, which we have 3 of them now.
Yeah.
But they're not book-based. They're movie-based.
Haven't watched any of those.
They're amazing.
Oh, the
What people
Fantastic
say.
Beasts.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
they're
I saw the first one.
amazing.
I haven't seen. Did I see 2? There's
There's
third one
3.
too?
The third one's out right now.
heard
okay.
the third
I
one wasn't
think
as
I
good.
saw-
The third one was amazing.
Oh, really?
I did.
It was
see
a
the first 2.
great
Saw the
storyline.
first 2. Definitely.
I
saw the
loved
first
the third one. It was a great
2.
storyline.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I got to see the third one. I've seen the first.
And of
2.
course, I've seen every Harry Potter movie,
Multiple
original
times.
and spin-off,
Yes.
in the theater.
Did I see them all in the theater? I think I
The
saw them all
second
in the
one I
theater.
didn't because it came out in COVID.
Oh,
That's the only one that I didn't see in the theater because it
Okay.
came out during COVID.
I think I saw all of them in the theater. Oh wait, the Fantastic Beasts.
The second
one?
Fantastic
okay,
Beast
then I haven't seen that because the first Fantastic Beast, the only one I've seen,
was
then
in
was
theater.
in the theater. Yeah.
The second
I
one
get
did
it.
not, but the third one is
Then I have
now.
to watch
I've
that
seen
one.
all the Marvel movies in the theater, and I've watched all the TV shows and
I've
the
still not
animated
seen all
movies.
the Marvel movies.
We know you haven't, and it's a damn shame.
I haven't either. I have a
Yeah.
couple.
Speaking of which, guess what ended yesterday? Moon Knight. So we got to watch that. That's on the list too. We'll get you there
On the list.
eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. There's a lot of stuff you can catch up on the comic books there. If you want to.
Why? Why would I do that?
Because you said you read the book.
That's not a book.
They're
they're
magazines.
book.
Comic books are magazines.
That's not a book.
That's the book.
Thank
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's if you look it up, it's on the National Book Organization of the United
Comic
States.
books?
Graphic novels are on the book.
Graphic
list.
novels are not comic books.
Yes, they are.
To me, they're different.
They're graphic
What was
novels.
Archie?
I
It's a
call it a
comic.
comic.
What's
Yeah.
the difference?
I'd say that's a magazine.
That's,
I have my own difference in my head. I made up my own definition.
So there's difference between comic and like comics, just because
What's the difference between a comic
Archie
book and a graphic novel?
Archie and like Garfield and stuff. Those
Yeah.
are
those are
some-
comics.
Those are comics.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So Archie's kind of weird because it did both. They did the Sunday morning cartoons and they actually came up with comic books where people
Right.
were like dying and shit.
Yes.
So there's a
And
difference
it's
there.
actually a TV show. Did you know
Really?
that?
There's a few TV
think
shows.
No, there's a spin-off from Archie Comics as a TV show.
There's a few spin-offs.
he knows that stuff.
Oh, yeah,
CW?
Riverdale.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's been out.
Riverdale is a spin-off
I
of
might have
Archie's.
known that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere deep in the
See, I
recesses
know
of
these
my
things.
mind.
You know, there's a cartoon show coming
I
out.
don't
too.
care about cartoons. I'm talking about TV shows.
There's a cartoon TV show coming out.
But
Still
Riverdale is a spin-off.
Listen here. There are some good cartoons nowadays, okay? There's a lot of dying and killing and fucking all
You
in
like all
cartoons.
the anime stuff around.
There's-
so, you know,
there's-
gonna tell
Those
you
are
about
not
the cartoons.
cartoons.
Those are cartoons. There's
Okay,
anime
so you're going to
cartoons.
tell me that anime is cartoon because every other person I've ever met that if I called an anime a cartoon, they get all triggered
It's
and
the way
offended.
you say it. There is a difference. There is a difference. It's basically the subject matter because you can't say like Simpsons is a cartoon.
Is it animated?
It's anime.
Is it drawn? Then
Anime.
it's a cartoon.
So
See?
it-
See?
It has to
See
do
what
with
I'm
the
talking about?
It has to do with the subject matter.
No, it does
okay?
not.
It's
Is
not
it-
the same.
is it
You can't
drawn?
say anime is the same as like the Simpsons or Family
Is
Guy.
it drawn?
You can't say it's
Did
the same
somebody
thing.
have to draw it
It's
for
a different
it to
style.
exist?
It's a different style.
Did somebody have to draw
It's a
it for
different
it
style.
to exist?
You're not
Then
gonna-
it's a cartoon.
You're not going to cry and
Oh, I
get
see
mad.
the difference.
You're not going to cry and then get mad and get all dramatic over the Simpsons. And it's also there's
You are
a
over
difference.
Futurama.
There's a difference between that's because of anime. There's a difference between
that.
animations in different countries too.
It's still a
It's
cartoon.
not. Anyways, the point is, I don't care what you think. We're going to get
Somebody
you.
had to put a piece of paper
I'm gonna
and
find-
a writing
I'm gonna
utensil together for
find-
it to exist.
I'm going to find a cartoon, as you put it, Japanese animation that is kind of like Harry Potter, and we're going to get you into it.
And it's still a cartoon. Harry Potter is not. Those are real people playing a part. It's a movie.
Real people.
Yep.
Bullshit. It's
I'm
all
with
made
you.
up anyway.
I'm
It
It's
did not
all made up.
require
It's all
somebody
made
to
up.
draw something for
It's
it to exist.
all made
Doesn't
up.
matter. Well, movies
That
are
world
all
is
made
real.
up.
That's what I'm saying. It's all
but
made
it
up.
didn't require somebody to put pen and paper for it to exist.
I don't give a fuck. Yes, it did. It's called
No,
a
it
script.
had
It's
actors.
called a script.
No.
Let's go back to
Yeah.
our triggers episode. This is good. I'm watching this,
Because
man. This is great.
my point is, I don't even care what you call it.
Yeah.
We're just going to
Because
get
I'm
you
right.
into something.
That's why you don't care.
I don't care if you can be right or wrong.
I
The
am
point
right,
is, it's
though.
all made up.
It doesn't matter if it's. We know it's all made up.
So either
Everything
way,
about it's made up.
my problem is you haven't watched an anime yet. That's the problem.
No, you don't know what I've watched. You're assuming.
You haven't watched because my thing is.
Did you forget who I was engaged to?
If you're
I've watched volleyball anime because she thought it would entice me to watch it because
my
it was
point
about a subject
is,
that I
you
enjoyed.
ain't watch it because
That
you
sounds
aren't
awful.
into it. Actually, that's at Harukuer was like one of the top animes.
Yeah, it's actually a top
It's
anime.
it's very
and I
popular.
cannot tell you how many
Really?
nights I have laid there and watched volleyball anime.
You ain't watch it
volleyball
because-
cartoons
You
because she thought that I would be interested in it.
that way. You didn't watch it.
And bless her heart, because she was watching an anime about a subject that was teaching her about a subject I enjoyed. So I mean, there was benefits
That's
on
why
both sides.
it's
I
an
appreciated
anime versus
it.
just a cartoon.
It's a
because
cartoon.
Very much anime. They do their research, and you. I hope you
Like
watched
people
enough
that
to
drew Winnie
realize.
the Pooh didn't do their research.
I would hope that you
Have
realize.
you researched Winnie the Pooh?
Having watched the volleyball anime, you would realize how accurate it is.
Was not.
Great.
How accurate
It was not.
How accurate it was.
It
You
was-
just said it taught her about volleyball.
It did teach her aspects of it, but that would be like watching Star Wars and saying I learned how to fly because I watched people do it on the movie. Just because they do it doesn't mean that it's accurate.
I learned about warp technology from Star Wars or Star Trek.
Wow. Don't you dare.
Wow.
What?
Oh, we almost had a fight just now.
I have arrived.
Almost had a fight just now.
Hey, I have arrived.
Tell your Trek fans. Oh,
Hey, I have arrived.
nobody cares. That's an inside joke.
Oh God, I've learned about warp technology from Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
black holes and all kind
Yeah.
of crystal entities and stuff like that. So
Wow.
yeah, so your point holds.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
hurts a little bit.
I would watch the volleyball one and learn some stuff about volleyball,
Aspects.
tennis,
I dissociated 5 minutes ago.
boxing. Because I'm teaching her. She's on her way. She's learning. We'll get you there
Learning
too.
what? I don't know what I'm learning.
Yeah, we're learning all kinds of stuff. So we'll get you there.
I'm perfectly content where I'm at.
We'll get you there.
Same.
Anime.
Yeah.
I'm
No.
fine knowing that cartoons are
Hey,
cartoons. I don't need to be
no,
disillusioned about
not
this.
a cartoon, damn it.
I don't need to be disillusioned.
You want to talk about your history there?
No.
How you've come to the light eventually? Yeah. How many episodes of One Piece have you watched now?
66.
There you go. See? You get somebody there. You know what I'm saying? We get you there too. You just got to find your niche.
My niche.
Your niche.
Nakama.
Harry Potter-ish. Casting spells and riding brooms and stuff. There's a bunch of the animes like that.
Oh, yeah, dude. There's a
bunch
couple.
of anime.
I don't watch anime. Like I have absolutely zero interest in anime.
Yeah, why is that?
Why?
I didn't really.
America.
Actually, that's not true. I was going to say I didn't either, but actually
say
I did
America.
because I used to watch.
It's fucking Disney's fault. That's why.
I didn't because I got like shamed out of it.
Oh, there's actual proof behind this.
That it's Disney's fault
Yes.
that I don't watch anime.
They might
In
be, yeah,
America,
they might
yeah.
be keeping it out like purposefully.
No. There's
bullying
a
TV
no.
stations to
It
not
goes
air
farther
it.
back. It goes farther back than
Oh shit! Here
because
we go.
in America we had Disney. That was our prolific
And
cartoons,
cartoons,
Studio.
yes.
cartoons in the 50s,
Yes.
60s, 70s, 80s, all through that.
We'll say 50s and 60s. We'll not include 70s. It had already branched out by the 70s.
My point is, in America, that's what we were exposed to.
Oh, that's right.
cartoons.
You're a Disney geek nerd, right?
We
Yeah,
were
a little
exposed to
bit.
cartoons. Whereas
Well, because in the 70s you had Captain America, you had Saturday morning
We
cartoons,
had cartoons
you
by
had
then.
Still
other things that were
cartoon-ish.
not Disney based.
But
Yep.
in
Warner Brothers.
in Japan
Yes.
during that time, their cartoons had people dying, had blood, had loss, had drama, had a good story behind it. Here in America, we had cartoons.
they also weren't a democracy.
Yeah, they were something. Anime is
Were
very
they a
human.
dictatorship?
Yeah.
No, they didn't have
they were-
dictatorship.
Not after
This-
that.
At World War II, thank you.
Oh,
They had a
okay.
democracy. So they were exposed to all that. They didn't have a rating system in Japan.
Yeah,
Right.
kids,
So they
were-
had the kids got exposed to death. So they had a chance to develop a story. You had drama in their cartoons.
There's
We
Here-
had death.
Oh, no.
Bambi's mom died.
Yeah.
You didn't see it on camera though.
No.
In
Well,
anime,
Disney doesn't show blood.
yes, that's what I'm saying. There you go. You're proving my point.
No, Disney. There is not a Disney cartoon
Yeah,
that shows
exactly.
blood.
I'm telling you right now, that's exactly why
Not
we
even
got
turning
fucked up
red.
in America, because in Japan they were seeing all kinds of blood and torture and death and all
Yeah.
But
kinds
what's
of
that got
stuff.
to do with the fact that we don't watch anime?
Because in America we had cartoons, so we weren't seeing blood and stuff. So in Japan, when they were actually seeing all this stuff, they had a chance to develop a story. So everybody in America, past a certain age, got conditioned by cartoons as not being, oh, it's not a real story because it's a cartoon. It's
Right.
hand drawn. They can't have a story.
The
they can't have
Roadrunner
drama.
never bled.
There's no
Coyote
emotional.
never bled.
There's no emotional ties. You didn't
Elmer
see.
Fudd never
you didn't see
shot anything
Yeah,
that
you
bled.
you never saw violence. There's people with swords.
No, you saw violence. You just see the realistic
you s-
aftermath of the
no,
violence.
No. I'm talking about people getting like literally cut in half,
Oh, no, you didn't see that.
and then their corpses fucked. So yeah, hentai. We'll go into all
Wow,
that
that's
too.
not. Yeah,
Wow.
that's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
That's
Come
not
on.
Saturday morning cartoons.
But that's my
Jeez.
point. In America, we had Saturday morning cartoons until like the late 90s when anime started to finally come to America.
That was
And then
earlier than the late
after
90s.
that, all the cartoons now that you watch in America, the actual American cartoons have a lot of death and killing and all that other stuff.
Do we actually have cartoons now? Like,
Yes.
Yeah, anime.
Yes.
Anime was
Well, Invincible-
Besides
earlier than the late
anime,
90s.
do we have
Yes,
cartoons?
there's American cartoons. Avatar. You haven't heard of this one?
Wait, what?
I've
Last
heard
time-
of the
last time-
Airbender thing.
Yeah.
Hold on. Do you mean is there American
That's not
anime?
Is
No,
that
no.
American?
Yes,
Do
that's
you, hold on.
100%.
Do you mean
yes.
is there American anime?
No, I'm talking about like is there a modern day equivalent to like Roadrunner or like what we used to
No,
call
we don't have that
cartoons?
anymore. We have actual cartoons where people are actually getting killed and cut in half, based off of anime from Japan.
The Airbenders American?
Yeah.
Yes, that's
yeah.
an American anime.
It's very good.
They took elements of Japanese anime and it's an
Yeah, they were
American
anime
studio.
fans.
But now, since we've been indoctrinated with all this violence and there's all these, streaming services where you can turn the child rating, all of our current cartoons that come out have a lot of death in them. There's literally people just getting blown in pieces on cartoons.
See,
It's
if I
not
wanted
like
to watch that, why would I watch a cartoon? I would just watch a movie.
because it's not in a movie form.
No, but I'm saying I would just watch a movie that was a drama or war or death related movie. Why would I watch a cartoon?
Because it's better. The story is better in the cartoon form.
They can write if you can. It's
Plus, there's a
But
lot
see,
of
that's
stuff.
going to be okay. So I'm going to
Take
say
South
that
Park
that's.
for example. Take
Who?
South Park. South Park.
I never watched it. It annoyed the shit out of me.
My point is, in South Park, they did a lot of fucked up stuff because it was a cartoon.
Like Family Guy, South Park, Bart Simpson. I never watched any of those because they annoyed the shit out of
Okay,
me.
but my point is, they did a
They
lot
did.
of they did a lot of
I
fucked up
concur.
stuff.
I could watch it, but I've got such my nerd bent is some of that stuff bothers the shit out of
My
me.
point is, they did a lot of fucked up stuff in there because it was a cartoon. All the stuff, the fucked up stuff they were doing in South Park, they were already doing in Japan.
They could get away with it.
But they actually had a story going, though.
So here's, I think, is a generational thing for me is, to me,
That's 100%.
no, it is
my
generational because
point.
to me, cartoons are feel good.
Yes.
Cartoon. If I want to watch drama or war or all of the things you're talking about, I'll seek out the movie that has them in it.
Right. My point.
I would not, if I saw a cartoon that was the base, I'd be like, that's not why I watch these. Like, I'm not going to watch
And
these.
I'm saying that's because of Disney.
Oh, they spoiled us.
They
I would,
conditioned
but it
you.
wasn't all Disney. Like, I grew up on Tom and Jerry. I grew up on, like, more than just that. And even my
Bugs Bunny.
kids
But I
grew up
understand.
on more than that.
I'm telling you, it's yes, you are correct. There was more than that, but Disney, as far as cartoons, think of anything else back then that was the number one in the 80s and 90s.
Bugs Bunny.
Not more than Disney.
Not more than Disney.
Plus, you had
no.
the whole when they started doing all the movies and stuff, like Lion King.
The only thing that was equivalent that you could sort of put, like when Space Jam came out, where they were mixing modern day people. Like Space Jam was cartoonish and it wasn't violent.
So you mean Disney didn't actively try to stifle anything, but it was already
conditioned
they
ingrained
conditioned
in
and
our
influenced
American-
based
That
on
generation.
the premise of what they were based on.
That
yeah.
generation.
All right.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to come to a point where it was like, oh, and then Disney actively lobbied against
It wasn't.
the government.
No,
Disney
no,
didn't.
no.
There
Wow,
were
okay.
American companies that did. They stole from Japanese properties and rebranded them for America. Cut out all the violence and changed the name and gave them like American names and stuff. There's a whole thing about that. There's
like
multiple
okay,
studios that
so
did
like
that.
here's one that didn't Transformers.
Yeah.
Transformers is American,
It's American, but
Yeah.
they are not Disney.
No.
but they're still not the number one though.
No,
Teenage
but they
Mutant
were
Ninja
pretty
Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, not
They're still
Disney.
They're still not.
But there was violence, there was fighting, there was
No,
good guys, there was
no,
bad guys.
No, there was. They
There's good
literally
guys
had
and bad guys
there-
and fighting.
First of all, Transformers was robots.
But it's still good guys. It's still animated. It's still a cartoon.
It's still a cartoon, but it's not the same thing as anime. though.
He-Man.
There's still.
He-Man, She-Man,
She-Ra.
She-Ra, whatever.
Anyways,
She-Ra.
He-Man had a giant sword and never once cut somebody.
That's true.
What about all the Saturday morning cartoons with all the superheroes?
None of them-
Superman,
never-
Wonder
none of them-
Woman.
None of
never
them
hurt
never.
anybody,
None
not
of them
really.
ever killed anybody.
No.
If they blew up a plane, you saw them picking up somebody. GI Joe had a lot of planes getting blown up every single time there was somebody parachuting out of there. There was always little things that they did because of the ratings and stuff like that they
Even
showed people
Avatar.
living.
Even Avatar. Now, nobody dies. They don't show it.
The cartoon, not the
The
movie.
cartoon. Yep. Yeah, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
That one.
So people might.
I've never seen one.
They hint that somebody died, like, and my mom never came back.
Yeah,
but
they show
isn't
it off
that
on
like
screen.
martial arts based, like fighting based Airbender? Don't they fight?
Yeah, but nobody dies.
See, I've never watched them, so I don't know.
I know.
Nobody dies.
We'll get you there eventually.
No, I'm
They only
really
one
not
person dies of
interested
natural
in
causes
We'll
in
get
an
you.
any
accident.
of those.
But see, that's what I'm
Like
saying.
I would have
There's
to
a generational.
severely lose a bet to have to watch.
I love
I'll-
that. Though.
Some of
We're
that.
going to start
Avatar was
betting
good.
now
No.
because there's a lot of good
I
ones you're
knew I
missing out.
needed
Just
to
because
watch
they're
it.
cartoons doesn't mean it's not a good story.
Yeah. Here's the thing too, with a cartoon, if
And
you've
emotional.
got- it is. Yeah, they're very emotional. If you've got an idea, sorry, I just burped into the mic. If you've got an idea in your head, it's much cheaper to animate it than it is to go to a big movie studio, and you can make wild things with animation that you might never be able to make in a movie studio, especially back in the 70s, 80s, 90s. Hell, just a few.
There's
years
also
ago.
there's also the contracts thing too, because live action characters you can show and can't show, but the cartoon you can show different people. But there's that whole thing. Yeah,
I don't know
We'll,
about
we'll start betting you then. Get you on there. So yeah, you got the suffering of the generational conditioning because it's like just because it's a cartoon doesn't mean it can't be 100% serious. Yeah, they can do a whole
Land
deep
Before Time.
Still
Was
no
that
death.
Disney?
Still no death.
I don't-
Yes.
Was it? I don't think so.
I
don't
think it
that
was.
Disney.
Either way, there's
I
no
think
death
Land
on the
Before
screen.
Time was Disney.
Yes, his parents died, but you don't see it on the camera.
What's the one about the oil spill? Fern Gully. I
Yeah.
loved Fern Gully.
There's this whale one I watched too, but yeah. So there's all that stuff. There's something I'm going to say before that. But anyways, we geeked out.
Yay!
Congratulations.
You happy?
Are you happy?
You feel
Sure.
better?
Do you feel better?
You've got all that out.
Do you feel better?
No. I don't feel better when you get you to watch an anime.
I have.
No, we want you to watch it.
I
Not be
did.
forced.
Hold on. What's this? We Kimosabi?
We.
No,
I did
No,
watch
I'm not
anime.
invested.
No,
you.
we're not being forced. I'm
What's the
saying
I am
you-
still being forced.
No,
Like,
you're
what's
not
the
even watching.
difference?
Not
No,
for
no,
me.
you gotta with your own voluntary.
And that's never
privy-
happening because I don't voluntarily want to do this.
So there.
We'll get there.
No,
Just
no,
gotta
we
keep
won't.
working on it.
Get there. Got to keep working on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna push somebody's boundaries. You're gonna work on our boundaries.
Yeah.
Okay,
we're gonna boundaries.
because that's what we do here: is violate people's boundary consent.
Nope, that's not correct.
Yep,
I
that's
like
what's
how you're
happening.
making assumptions now. Don't make assumptions on my podcast.
Making
I'm
assumptions.
gonna make a problem.
I'm doing it. It's not an assumption. I don't like
There's
that
a lot
either.
of stuff.
We'll work on the stuff you think you don't like. No, I don't like it.
Anyways, that's not what we're doing.
Hold on.
I feel
Thank you.
that's
Hold
a
on.
trigger.
Hold on.
Anyways,
That's a trigger.
You'll like it if you just watch it. I know you will.
Exactly.
If you would
try it.
just try it, you would
My
love
point
this.
is-
Blech, blech.
there's a lot of information.
It's some girl bullshit. This is
There's a lot of information.
Mansplaining going on over here.
A lot of information that you didn't have before we started talking about this that you know now.
I get this every fucking day.
So there, you learned something.
I'm
There,
not
you-
opposed
there,
to.
you learned
There.
something.
Yeah, you
There,
learned something.
there.
You learned something.
Little
You're
lady.
welcome. Wait till he tells you you're welcome.
You're welcome.
You are welcome. You got all this
This,
information. Yeah.
this is look
Yeah,
at
yeah.
look. This is
You like that right there?
That twinge right there.
that's why I get Botox.
Right there.
I get
That
Botox.
twinge.
Yeah. It's look. I had a wrinkle
You're
right
gonna
there.
have to pay for my fucking Botox. after all this.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Let
what
me put
this
in my
is.
credit.
Yeah.
We got an IOU.
That's what this is.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
This is part 1 of this discussion. We'll talk about
Part
it.
one of what? Like of
Did you
one?
watch Good Omens?
Huh?
Good Omens. You know what
Good
that is?
Omens?
You would know immediately if you watched it. Never mind. Okay.
Oh, the movie. It was
Yeah,
a book.
show.
No, it's a TV
Yes,
show.
it was a book.
It was a book. I read the book.
Did
Yeah,
you?
I did.
You gotta
Okay.
Watch, you got to watch the TV show.
That's
now.
my favorite author.
Okay.
That's why I wear my frying pan.
Okay. I did
The
read
guy
the
who wrote
book.
This. Yeah. If I was gonna geek out, that's what I would.
I
geek
did
out
read
about.
the book
And
on
Star
Good
Trek.
Omens.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Terry Pratchett. I am a
There's a lot of TV shows out there that have all the
Deeply
books.
invested Terry
Wheel of Time.
Pratchett.
You know what else I read the books for and watched Little House on the Prairie? Read all the books.
It's cute.
Did you
And
watch
of
the
Green
new
Gables.
Anne of Grey Gables. Read all
Anne
the
of,
books.
me too. I had all the books.
Did you
Yeah.
watch the new special?
I loved Anne of Green
What new
Gables.
special?
There's a
Yes, I watched the reunion. And the game show.
Was it the one that just came out on
Yes.
the CW? That reunion?
No, it came out on HBO Max
When did it come out?
this past year, this year,
that's
something
probably-
like that.
I tried watching
This
it.
year?
I couldn't do it though because they were all older and everything. But the guy that played John Boy was narrating it.
Harry Potter?
No, I said House on the Prairie.
No, I've not seen that reunion.
Oh, yeah,
You were
they
talking
have
about
the
Harry Potter.
House on the Prairie that just came out. That's like a winter special. They got whatever. They got new
Really?
character. Yeah, they got new characters to play the people, and then the guy to play John Boy narrates it.
There's John Boy is not Little House on the Prairie.
Oh, the Waltons.
Thank you.
I'm just sitting back here, man. I'm just watching
The
now.
Waltons.
Yeah, that's not that.
that one. They
I'm
all
like, they
mix it
really
together.
can't do it because most of the characters are dead. So
But
I don't know who they're
Even-
reunioning.
Yeah, well, with the Waltons, they just had new characters
Okay, Little House on the Prairie, most of the characters are dead, so there's no reunion.
in the book or the actual.
The characters that played the actors that played them are
that's
all
what I'm
dead.
saying with the Waltons thing. The special,
Oh.
they had all new actors.
Okay.
Yeah, that came in. But yeah, John Boy, the guy that played John Boy in the Waltons,
Okay,
narrated it.
that makes more. I didn't watch
Yeah.
that show.
They'll probably do a Little House on the Prairie.
No,
rethink,
they
too.
can't because most of them are dead.
I told you they'll just put in new actors for
They
the
can't.
characters.
They cannot.
Why?
Because it doesn't work that way.
The actual
mean-
characters are dead.
No.
No,
Well,
the actors.
Yeah,
It's
so
a
just
blasphemy.
put a new actor
No,
in there.
No, the
That's what they
fans-
did for the
That's
Waltons.
not a reunion then.
I didn't say it was a reunion. I said it was a special.
like a reboot. I don't know. The fans will lose their shit.
Oh, like when they came back with Fuller House.
Yeah.
No.
It's not a reunion. It's a special.
No, that's not a special. That's that new TV show.
He better be paying for that Botox for you. Look at that face palm.
I know.
Face
I'll
palm.
teach you all kinds of stuff. I'll keep
Right
geeking
here,
out.
Botox,
What are you
right
confused
here.
about?
Right here.
Fuller House was a continuation of the story.
I am so happy you're hearing this right now. He just gave you the "What are you confused about?"
What is
he
confusing?
Literally just gave that to you.
What is confusing?
Oh, this is great.
Fuller House is a continuation of the original story. So all the old actors, they come back and play their parts, but they have kids now.
You triggered yet?
This Walton special
You should be.
was a retelling of a story, but they had all new actors.
You know what's worse than
So-
mansplaining? Geek-splaining.
But they
Geek-splaining, yeah.
can do that with Little House on the Prairie, can't they?
Then no, they could. No, they cannot.
Why?
They
Explain.
blew up the fucking town at the end of the show.
Okay, that's what I was asking you. What happened?
Like they literally, that was the last episode, was them blowing up the town.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
because they
That's why I
didn't want to
asked you.
give it up to. Somebody wanted to buy the town, and they didn't want to sell the town, and so they decided as a last rebellion that they were going to blow it up so it wasn't functional for whoever wanted it.
But the characters in the story are alive.
Yes,
So
most
can they-
of them are.
Can they just
all-
move to a
What's her
different
name's
town and
blind?
start
No.
moving?
Well, they did.
Mary.
They moved to Mankato and started new lives there, but not before they blew up.
Yeah, so they could do a special in Mankato or whatever.
Wow.
Just change the actors out. Everybody's different.
Oh, I got
Did
more
you
face
ever
palm.
watch this?
Like one episode, maybe.
Seriously?
I watched more Waltons.
Never watched the Waltons.
See, oh, hey, seriously?
Did you watch Gilmore Girls?
Good night, John Boy.
Did you watch
Like a couple
Golden
episodes.
Girls?
A couple episodes, yeah. Golden Girls is on a different plane. Okay.
Okay.
That traverses everything.
Okay.
But I
We
didn't
can
watch the
agree
whole
on that.
series.
No?
No.
Do you watch reruns?
When they're on, maybe once or twice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Same.
Same like
Yeah.
Andy Griffith show.
The nerdiest show I ever watched that I actually got into was there was two. Warehouse something, like the Warehouse
13?
13. I
That was
liked
a good
that
show.
one.
That was a good show.
I
Geeked
really
out, you
liked
were.
Warehouse 13 and the
So they changed-
Stargate thing. The Stargate.
Which one?
I don't know.
There's multiple
Oh,
series.
I just saw
Whatever.
like
Yeah,
I
there's
think
multiple
one.
series.
Dude.
But that warehouse one was super good.
I liked it until they changed the cast.
I tried to watch Doctor Who.
I
Which
watched
one?
Doctor Who.
No, I tried, so I'm a realist. Like, if I'm going to try to watch something, I'm going to go back to the very beginning.
Oh, hell. To the 60s?
No.
Yes.
How were you
Because
able to find those episodes?
They are out there.
Yeah, they are.
All the way from then
Yes,
until now?
I watched season 1, episode 1.
You did not.
Until
I did.
when?
God, wow.
Season 1, episode 5.
Episode 2, yeah.
So 5 episodes?
I did.
No,
You
It
got
it's
was
really hard.
brutal.
No,
Are you
it
sure
was-
that...
You got to
I don't
start.
think-
Yes, because the very first episode is about the
No.
like the
no.
person ends
I'm
up
not talking about.
crawling across the wall.
I'm not talking about the
and-
first season. I'm talking about all the seasons from then until now.
No, I never got past season 1, episode 5.
You've made a horrible mistake.
But
you made
did
a
you-
miscalculation.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to
That's
have
rough.
to try again because you need like Matt Smith or
I couldn't do that
I
yet.
started
My
at the
first
beginning.
Doctor.
Yeah.
No, you can't with
you
that.
can't
Not
do
with
that.
Doctor Who.
I can't do
Uh-uh.
that. You did
did.
try to geek out. I tried to do
did.
that too, but I was like,
What the hell is his name? David
Because
Tennant.
I'm like, if it's a
David
if it's
fuck.
an
Oh, Barty
episode-
Crouch. You know Barty Crouch?
No.
No, from Harry Potter.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
Barty
yeah,
Crouch.
yeah.
He was
So-
a doctor.
Really?
Yes.
yeah,
You need to watch him.
yeah.
It's David
You-
Tennant.
So I did. I started
missed
from
a
the
lot of
beginning and
stuff.
missed like 5
He's going to
episodes.
be at
So-
MegaCon, isn't he?
I think
David
so
Tennant's
this year.
Gonna be at MegaCon.
So-
you start with him. He was a doctor. He's amazing.
The problem with
He might
Harry
be-
with Doctor Who is
the
it's hard to get
best
all the seasons. Some of the seasons are like
Who
lost.
the hell was the other guy? Chris.
So yeah, so you
So I
tried.
tried.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you would have been upset.
Yeah,
'cause
the
you
middle
would've-
is lost.
Yeah,
So
you
some of
can't
the
What do
find
you mean
middle.
lost?
You just can't find them.
Why?
They just didn't keep a record of them.
Yeah.
How do you not keep a record of a TV show?
Because it's the Brits.
There's a lot
man.
of TV shows that
Fucking
they don't
British.
have.
They come up with all kinds of TV.
They
fucking
still
shows.
show Magnum
It's just
PI.
lost.
They have. To
I
have,
loved
like,
Magnum PI.
I did too.
I like your assumption there. There's a lot of stuff on like reels and stuff. You know, there's fires, stuff happens. There's a lot of TV shows that are just missing episodes.
Yeah.
Okay.
NCIS, CSI,
Which one?
Grimm, the original NCIS, not JAG. I didn't watch JAG. I watched NCIS. Then I watched NCIS Miami, NCIS Miami, and I liked New
Because
Orleans.
of Scott Bakula?
No.
Why'd you choose Miami?
Miami's not Scott Bakula. That's New Orleans.
Oh,
I just liked it because it came out after it was NCIS.
I watched LA because of.
I liked LA.
LL
LL
Cool
Cool J.
J.
Yeah.
Order. Law and Order.
Oh wait, sorry. NCIS was it Miami?
I watched Law and Order.
Yeah,
I
I
think
watched
you mean
Law and-
LA.
I can't watch. Yeah. No. Yeah. NCIS.
don't think there is
LA.
Miami.
No, Miami was CSI.
CSI Miami.
Yeah. So I watched that
Yeah.
a little bit. I didn't really get into it, but I watched CSI up until Grissom and Sarah got
Well,
together,
I
and I
talk
was
about
like,
a
"Ew,
book series.
this is gross."
I finally found a book series that I didn't read all
NCIS
the
I
books.
quit when Abby
but
quit.
I watched the TV show, Dexter.
Oh,
Dexter is based off books,
interesting. All right,
Yes.
cool.
Yes.
but I did not read all the books before. I watched the series before I read the books.
I don't understand how you do that, but I heard
That's fascinating.
if you read the books, there's no point in watching the series.
That's what I heard too.
Yeah.
But I had already started watching the series before I found out that it was based on books.
I don't know if I could do that one.
What do I geek out about? Like nothing. I don't know.
Disney and Harry Potter. I'm telling you, it's like I don't. There's no rhyme or reason to it. But I don't dress
of
up.
these
Like I don't do
days.
the dress up thing. Like
You're
I'll
just
wear
not a super
Disney
geek.
things.
I legit do the dress up thing.
There's
I
a different
don't-
level of geekiness.
I don't do the
If I
dress
buy
up.
you a
I've never
robe-
been to a convention
If I buy you a robe, pretty sure you're gonna wear it.
at Universal.
Why?
But
do
nowhere
I do
else.
The dress up? I think I just like to dress up. That's.
I
why.
don't. I don't.
I do.
I've-
I
a
like,
geek thing.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
geek Gotta
Yeah.
show your
No,
geekiness.
it's stupid to me. Like it makes no logical sense. Why am I dressing up as this thing?
I don't know. I can't explain it.
Makes no sense to me.
You know what it is? It's a lot like immersing yourself in the fantasy of it.
To
Like
my-
at
in my
Universal, when
mind,
you're
it's like this
surrounded
is
by it,
not
you're like-
real. Like this is not real. This
I
is
think
stupid.
I identify.
But
so
then you like
deeply
the
with
land?
the thing. I become the thing.
I like walking through the land, but it doesn't mean I'm dressed up pretending like one of the characters.
Oh, see, I am. Psh, man, I'm so immersed. I'm that character now.
To me, there's
Do you remember we did an event and I was Harley Quinn?
Yes.
And I had the accent and
Yes.
everything. Oh
No.
man, I'm like in it.
my here. Honest
I
to
did
God,
drama.
Like,
Did you do drama?
No.
Okay.
Bare bones.
That might be it.
Like if I had to be
Theater.
transparent about it all, to me, I have too much reality to deal with to have to worry about fantasy. It's not an escape for me.
Some people, yeah.
It's not an escape for me either. I actually use fantasy to better understand reality.
No,
So
to me,
I can
I've got too
identify
much
with
real shit
things.
to deal with to worry about trying to be fake. Like this is all fake. It's cool, but like to be all in
Hold
it
on.
and try to do the whole thing. Like I got too much real shit to deal with to worry
Hold
about
on.
this fake shit.
I'm gonna counter that with my own thing. Now I get to talk about my shit. Good Omens.
And we're out of time.
No, good. It's the only thing I'm gonna say about any of it because I don't know, because I don't really care. Good Omens, Terry Pratchett, the author that wrote all of these amazing book series based on Discworld, and Good Omens is in Discworld. This whole universe. So Terry Pratchett was older than like J.K. Rowling, and I'm actually kind of curious about if she sort of copied him. He's got a book series that was for young adults of a girl who was a witch and was discovered by an older witch and then mentored. The very first
What was
book,
the name of it?
The first one is called We Free Men. The girl's name is Tiffany Aching. She's the witch. So she's like the Harry Potter character.
Right.
So Tiffany Aching is the little girl, and she was like 8 years old, I think, in the very first book. And it's a young adult book. And where you said that the J.K. Rowling books weren't written really perfectly well, Pratchett is one of the, maybe the most amazing author I've ever read. I don't read a ton, but I will literally read anything that he puts out.
That's how I am about Picoult. I'll read anything from Jodi Picoult.
There you go. When you pick an author, that's a nerd thing too. We like authors.
I
like
have
the way they
read.
write
I
their
don't think
style.
that Jodi Picoult has come out with a book that I've not read.
Yeah, I've got a lot to catch up on because Pratchett's got.
I mean,
at
you
least
know
100
her.
books.
I mean, you do. My Sister's Keeper.
I
You
haven't
watch that movie?
No, I don't watch a lot of movies. I know. You know, I don't watch a lot
Yeah.
of movies. You apparently do watch a lot of movies. We thought you
I
didn't,
like
but
movies.
you
No,
do.
movies are an escape for me.
Yeah.
But dressing up as the characters of the movie are not.
The reading about what about identifying with a character? Because here's where I identify with characters. You get like Tiffany Aching. She was an 8-year-old girl. She had to go. I want you to read these. Oh God, I should just
No,
give you one.
like you'll have to share them with me. 'Cause I'm
It's
in the middle
this.
of a series now that's like a mix between Twilight and Harry Potter,
So you would love these.
and I'm like in love with the series. And now the writing is not perfect.
Perfect.
What is
And
it,
you
witches
can-
and werewolves or something?
Yes,
Pratchett
absolutely
is perfect. Yeah,
yes.
that's
It's
right.
called,
Yes.
I would read that.
Crush,
Vampire
Crave.
Diaries?
Yes. No,
Yeah, write
No.
this down. Send that.
Vampire
text that to me in our
Diaries?
chat.
no,
There's-
it's not Vampire Diaries.
I think Tiffany Aching's series has 6 books, I want to say, but he follows her from 8 years old to like 18 years old. So he'll go through the whole thing, which is perfect. They're a quick read, and her very first thing is she
These-
has to
That's
fight.
the first 3 of the series. Oh shit! Where'd it go?
What are we doing? She's got to. Let me tell you real quick.
There.
She's got to fight a like fairy queen.
Those are the first 3 books of the series.
I don't know what they are.
And I wish they would come out with a movie just so I could see how if somebody visualized it. But these are movie worthy.
I hate when people do that.
I heard Good Omens was actually a really good.
So I don't know if
visualization,
you
'cause I actually
if you
haven't
know
read that
this
one.
or not. I think I've told you this before. I don't read fiction.
Oh, I do.
I don't read fiction. Can't do it.
Okay, that's what I was thinking about the cosplay stuff. So fiction mirrors reality just enough. I wear a frying pan on my neck because that little character, when she was 8, she had to go defend her brother. She was like taking him from the fairy king or fairy queen or something, and she didn't really know what to do. She didn't have any weapons. She just grabbed a cast iron frying pan and brought it with her.
It's
And
like
that-
Tangled.
And yeah, exactly. That was her weapon.
What?
And
that's
see-
exactly what Tangled
Yeah.
used.
So
yes.
what she does,
Tangled
I'm not going to
news.
spoil the book, but there's
you know what I
psychology behind like the frying
What's her
pan
name?
became like
Shut
a
up.
Rapunzel. The frying pan became like a reminder of that someone was using psychology against her. And I wear the frying pan as a reminder that I can like mentally hit a bitch over the head with a frying pan. Like I don't need to tolerate this. I can walk away. So I don't want to spoil it for anybody and for you because I actually
No, because I want to read the
I
books
really
now.
think you would love
Okay,
it.
yeah. Probably want to read that one. All right. As we are wrapping up here,
He doesn't care about my shit. It's
we'll
fine.
get here again. It's fiction. Told you. I've been sullied.
You watch anime. It's
Sullied.
fiction.
Reading fiction.
What's the difference?
Reading fiction.
You're still doing
I'm
it for
gonna-
entertainment.
if
So
I'm
what's
gonna-
the difference?
If I'm going to
He
read
reminds me
something,
of-
it has to be self-help.
Dude, this is self-help.
Anime is not self-help.
Terry
That's my
Pratchett-
escape.
Terry
It's like how you
Pratchett
watch
is-
movies, I watch anime.
So
Terry
it's an
Pratchett is
escape
self-help,
or it's
I swear to
self-help.
God.
Like the escape
Escape.
is your
Yeah.
self-help?
No.
But it's still fiction.
No, reading is not an escape. I learn from reading.
Here, you want to read This Is Our Relationship.
Wow.
This
Can't
book is-
escape into a book.
This book
I
is
gotta-
us. I
You
swear
can't
to God.
escape into a book?
No, I can escape to a TV show
That's
or a
so
movie.
sad.
That is sad. I escape into books.
Wow.
No, because there's
I
too much
identify with
information
them.
to read that it actually help you with real life, like Polysecure or the 4 Agreements.
What?
What?
What was confusing with what I just said? I said reading. There's too much to read that helps with real life.
Oh, and you choose to not read
You
fiction.
choose to
you
read
choose to read not.
for-
I see.
Okay.
Well, I mean, fiction is not going to help you with real life.
That's
But
not
yet
true.
It's not. That's so not true.
That is so not true. Why do I wear a frying pan? It's from a fiction book.
Yeah.
He doesn't get it.
Wow.
I get more from Polysecure.
When
You
you
can't
watch-
tell me there's not more information in a fiction book over Polysecure.
It's apples and oranges.
It's Yeah, I
You
identify
can't
more
compare
with
the
a character.
two.
I get
I've
more.
read Polysecure. You can't compare
You
the
can't-
two.
I get more confidence from a fictional character who went through fictional adversity than I do reading an actual self-help book.
Here's the thing: is when you read
Yeah,
when you
because
read
I can
something
identify
like
with the character and I can remember she did it. So can I.
when you
Fake
read something
character?
like
Yeah.
Polysecure, you're like, that's great that worked for them with the people that they were involved with. But
Yeah.
that is
I know
not-
something now.
Like I learned something from it, but like, what are the odds that I'm going to run into the same exact freaking situation that they're running into?
I run into
Same-
all those same
Yeah,
situations.
all the time. What do you
I
mean?
don't know. I don't.
Well, you're not fully.
There's a
you're
difference.
non-monogamous right now. You're not the full poly.
There's a
thing
no.
Wow.
there.
So we're going to judge?
No, that's
No,
not.
I'm not a judge. I'm
No,
just
you're
pointing
I don't
out.
think that's a
I'm
good
pointing out a
argument
fact.
anyway. I think
No.
it's an education versus
That's a fact.
having a character to
Well,
identify
how is that?
with.
Wait a minute. How is that a fact?
Because Polysecure is more
Now
for
he's done
polyamorous people than it is monogamous people.
Now he's done it.
Wow. So now what we're saying is that there are different degrees of polyamory, and if you aren't a specific degree, you can't understand it all.
I didn't say degree of polyamory. You know, we did discuss that non-monogamy is not the same as polyamory. Polyamory falls under non-monogamy.
Right.
And I'm saying-
no.
Yeah, I'm saying Polysecure is more focused towards polyamorous people.
I would disagree.
Okay. Yeah.
I shut off my mic like a minute ago.
We should do a podcast as a book club study.
Yes, we can,
Where we
yes.
can read the book, we make certain notes about the book, and we come back and we can discuss it.
Yes.
I would be down for that.
But yes, my point is, in that book, in certain nonfiction books, I feel like you learn more than a fiction book.
That's not what you just said, though.
Yeah. I said that Polysecure, you have more stuff that you learn for real life than you can a fiction book.
Only if you are poly, but if you're non-monogamous like me, then you wouldn't understand.
Attachment
never said
theory.
that.
Right. Apparently you don't need attachment theory.
No.
Never said that either.
He inferred it.
I said it's more focused. If you're going to listen, I said it's more focused.
Well, now I'm not listening.
More
Yes.
focused towards
Shut up, Mike.
polyamory.
So now I'm not listening.
I said it's more focused towards polyamory is what I said. I didn't say it wasn't for non-monogamous people.
No, but you did.
No, I didn't. I said it's more focused. Did you hear me say it's more focused?
Damn, I've got no way to help you here. This is what I deal with. This is it. Here it is.
I propose.
coming out now. You're close
I
enough.
propose,
My dear, you're
that
close enough. You're getting it
for
all.
When we convene,
feel
not this
vindicated.
next month, but the month after, when we convene, that we convene specifically to do an episode about that book, and we all bring our perspectives based on that book.
We can all. Yes.
I'd rather die. I can't. I can read like a maybe a few pages, and I get so triggered that I have to put the book down for a few days
Really?
and then come back to it. Yeah.
I'm giving us 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months.
No, because I won't be able to do the podcast then. It'll be like too much for me.
I would like to do that where we do with different books because there's like Ethical Slut and all
Yes,
kinds
that's
of.
an amazing book.
There's a bunch of books I would like
I'm
to do
too afraid
reviews
to read
for.
Really?
Yeah.
There's
It's
also
a really good book.
and there's like documentaries I would like to do that
try.
reviews
Yes.
or like the 50 Shades of Grey thing where
We need to do a 50 Shades
review.
review.
Okay. I mean, I could do it.
You've read that so long ago. You have notes on it.
I can do it.
Which one?
I'm not going to,
Polysecure.
well, they
Oh.
said bring our perspectives on it. I guess I could do it. Oh, my stomach's in knots just thinking about it. All right.
I'm just saying it would
I'm
be
the
a
one
good
who
idea.
gave you the book.
It is a
was
good
my
idea.
book.
I agree it's a good idea.
Like, come to the table with the book, and we each have notes where we have different
my car,
perspectives
I
and
can
different things that we want to bring up about what was said in the book.
I'll have to hold my tongue. Okay.
I don't see a problem. I'd like to do that with a bunch of books. I was actually going to suggest that
And
because
we're
there's,
going to
a,
figure it out.
there's
We'll
a lot of
figure it
current
out.
events too that we need to feel like grilling some people.
We'll figure it out.
Okay. What?
Are we good? Like,
I guess
we
we kind of got a future plan going.
We're wrapped
Oh
up.
goodness! All right, so we geeked out and then we came back to the
to
the
sum
actual
up,
thing.
I think we ended
to
this.
sum up, Dame does not understand anime, but I will fight to the death for Disney and Harry Potter.
Oh God. Yeah.
But I got bonus points for seeing the Star Wars and Star Trek in the theater when it originally came out.
That's pretty good.
Got nerd points from me.
I
You
got
already
points.
have nerd
I got
points from
points
me.
for that.
You're
I
more-
mean,
you're more
we'll
nerd than
get.
geek.
We agree you're a nerd. We just gotta get your geek up here.
He says we. It doesn't mean me.
This we shit.
He's we. It's
Like
him
I
and his
heard
multiple personalities.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's got like a bunch of avatars in
I'm
there.
talking to you over there, Esmeralda.
Nope.
Okay, so
That
As
that
we're-
character, Esme, comes from those books. Comes from those books. It's so,
Vodka
I
Gabolski
gotta
is
eat it
ending
those.
this thing. It's a deep cut there. That's a real geeky deep cut
Yeah.
that we didn't talk about fighting games and stuff. To my left,
Esme.
I have,
Esme.
and to
signing
my
off.
right,
We have Dame.
and this is Vodka Gabolski. This has been another episode of Around the Campfire that is kinky, and
God.
kinky is campfire to
I'm
be
just gonna turn
around.
my
I'm
mic
sorry
off.
for you all.
I can't.
We'll
I
see you
love you
guys
all.
next time.
Till next
Hello.
time.